Yeah, it's been like a year since I uploaded, and let's not spend much time dwelling on that, though. Let's just acknowledge it and move forward, because, you know. So it's been a bit of a busy year for me, as I'm sure it's been for everybody. I left a toxic job, I survived a pandemic, started a podcast, became a not-safe-for-work furry artist, lost the platform I was using for the furry art, went back to retail, and now I'm here again. All this to say that it's been a lot of ups and downs. High points being when I realized that I have the ability to work for myself. That felt really great. Spending an entire year being able to freelance and realizing that there are people out there who think that what I do is pretty cool. Granted, I had to turn to the furry community to do that, which, by the way, are lovely people, and I will fight you if you disagree with me, but that's a completely different topic for a completely different day. Let me tell you. Point being, for the first time in my life, I felt like there were people that thought I was good, and thought I was good enough, and that was great. So that was definitely a high point. A low point was when I woke up and Fiverr kicked me off their platform for drawing titties, which is my own fault. And now I'm working a retail job again. That's incredibly time consuming. And finding out that I have a lot more health problems than I thought I did, but that'll all get sorted, I'm sure, at some point. I don't know, there's MRIs happening. No one needs to focus on that, though. So, with my lack of free time lately, I've also been feeling a lack of motivation to create anything for myself. Whether it's art or videos, I just haven't really felt like I should put energy into things that don't make me money or don't progress my career in any way. Because now that I've had this gigantic step back, I feel like everything I need to be doing should be focused on getting an art career or getting something going where I don't have to rely on retail once my seasonal position is over. The problem with that is you get burnt out really fast when all you're doing is working and attending the occasional doctor's appointment because your body hates you and apparently you're 80 years old. It's also really hard to find motivation to do something for yourself because it's self-serving. And that's kind of related to what I want to talk about today. Really, I want to talk about priorities. And given that I'm back in a position where I have very limited time and very limited energy, I really want to focus on that. I want to lay out my priorities, decide what's important to me, and move forward with those things. Maybe you're wondering, if priorities are something that you're focusing on, why are you making a YouTube video if you want to be an artist? That's an excellent question. And to answer that, I will say, because I like it. And I want to prioritize things that make me happy. And I realized that thanks to a recent comment on one of my videos. And it's the first comment I got, and it felt really good. Because it was a comment from someone that genuinely enjoyed my video and found it randomly and randomly added it to a playlist. And that felt really awesome. And I realized that was something that made me happy. That the words that came out of my mouth helped someone. And someone understood me and someone understood what I was trying to say. And I need to start doing things that make me happy. So that's priority number one. Do things and create things that bring happiness. And yes, that sounds ridiculously cheesy, but shut up, it's my priority list. Priority number two is obviously the whole artwork thing. So I'm teaching myself animation and I'm still working on my commissions, still from furries because, again, lovely people. And this brings me to the tough decisions we have to make when we are prioritizing. So my current job is 5 days a week, 9 hours a day, which is fine for most people. But for someone also dealing with health struggles and also wanting to prioritize a future career outside of a seasonal position, I had to make some tough decisions. And one of those was asking to be put part-time. Because when I think about it, my priorities do not lie with this company. And that's okay. and I need to start prioritizing the things that I want. Because I have a really bad history of putting anything that makes me happy or anything that I'm striving to do on the back burner. And that's not good. So when you have a priority, especially if that priority is a side hustle or something that is entirely for you, it can be that much harder to make decisions. And it can be that much harder to plan and to cut down on things that everybody else tells you is a necessity or everyone else tells you is the safer choice. Would it be safer for me to just stick to this job full time? Yeah, probably. I'd also make more money doing that. But in the long run, is it serving what I want? Is it serving my goals? No, it's not. So you trim the fat where you have to. And granted, right now, I'm not prioritizing my social life. And that's hard. I'm not going to lie about that. But I'm doing what I have to do for now. And it's not going to be permanent. And establishing an art career isn't always going to be number one priority. Because your priorities change. They shift. And as you achieve goals, your priorities also move forward. It's like leveling up in a video game. Kind of. You reach a new level and then you see a new shiny thing that you really want in the next level and you're like, all right, well, looks like I'm going there now. It's also really hard to reach for your priorities or your dreams or your goals when you are in a situation where you have everything taken away from you. And that's what happened to me. It really hurt to wake up one morning and realize that the entire year's worth of work that I'd done almost didn't matter. Well, it mattered, but at the time I felt like it didn't. It was disheartening and it was really rough. I'm sure there's a lot of other artists out there who have had these moments of working so hard to achieve something, and then you get it and you've tasted that success and you have it, and then something goes wrong. A deal falls through, a client ditches you, you lose a gallery thing that's supposed to be like your big break. Something always happens. Or maybe it doesn't, but I'm sure a lot of us have had something happen. And it's so easy in those moments to just go, screw it. I guess I'm just gonna live whatever life gets handed to me. And that was my first thought too. Well, I guess I'll just find some sort of crappy job and work that for the rest of my life and just pay my bills and do art on the side as a hobby. Because it's not meant to be as a career. I lost everything. And I just kind of thought, what's the point of having goals? And what's the point of pushing all of these things to the top of your priority list if that priority list doesn't really matter in these moments? And I'll admit, that came from a really dark place. But it also puts you in this point where you realize that the things that you want are so important and so vital. And your dreams and your goals, they're so vital to who you are as a person, that when you lose them, there's nothing. And that's crazy. So when you find yourself in those situations, it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel like the world is collapsing because you have feelings and you can feel them. That's totally fine. I felt it. But then you get back on the horse. Forgive the cliche, but you do. You take a step back and you go, okay, do I still want what I was working for? Am I giving up because I've realized that all the hard work led me to something that I didn't want in the end anyway? Or am I giving up because I'm disheartened? Am I giving up because something's gotten in my way? Because something's hurt me? And if the answer is the latter, then that's fine. Then step back, reevaluate, find something new. But if it isn't, if it is just because you're hurting, then you need to get back at it. Take a look at your plan. Take a look at why you put that thing as a priority in the first place. Why was art so important to you in the first place? Why was whatever relationship maybe you were in so important in the first place? Or the job so important? Or the friendship so important? Why did it matter to you so much? Find the answer to that. Chase that priority. Put it on a pedestal. Be proud of it. We have this concept that we have to be able to do everything all of the time. And honestly, that's bullshit. You don't have to do everything all of the time. I'm not an all-star socialite. I suck at it. I'm not incredibly fit. Honestly, I'm kind of weak, and that's okay. That's not a priority for me. I don't need to be a weightlifter. I don't need to be some hot social media star. That's not a priority for me. You don't have to be everything. Just find something that makes you happy and do that. Hold on to it. Don't take it for granted. And don't let bumps in the road stop you or take you off course, because they will happen. And when they do, be ready for it. I mean, I wasn't. But, you can be. You can hear this now, and you can know that it won't always be easy. Anything worthwhile isn't, as I'm sure other people might have told you. Especially when you're in the arts. It's going to be a bumpy ride. I have so many people who have worked so long and so hard on getting something that they've always wanted. And sometimes they realize they don't want it after all. That's okay too. I've decided I still want to be an artist. Fiverr can kick me off. It can take away my client base. But it can't take away the fact that furries will always want. And that's fine by me. It also can't take away the fact that I like making videos. And I forgot that I did. And that's kind of a bummer. But I'm back, and I want to make more. And I want to talk about art more. And I have a podcast where I also talk about art. We're Your Friends Podcast on Spotify and Apple Music. Cough, cough. And that's also made me realize that I want to talk about art. One day I want to go back to working for myself, because I am a hard worker. And I deserve to put that hard work towards me, not towards some corporate entity. And it's fine for now, but I want more. And I know a lot of you guys do too. After this video, take out a piece of paper and write down what you want. And then stick that piece of paper to your goddamn wall and stare at it. And while you're staring at it, I want you to think what you can do to get that thing. With the knowledge that it's not going to be easy. With the knowledge that you're going to have to put a lot of work in. Because wanting something does not mean you're going to achieve it. You got to put the work in. Trust me on that. But also trust me, once you get it, it's going to be worth it. Because there's a reason why you want that thing. There's a reason why you think it'll make you happy. Anyway, that's it from me today. Nothing too crazy, nothing too exciting, nothing too insightful. Just something to kind of light a fire under your ass. Get you moving. And also get me moving, because I needed some inspiration too. And sometimes inspiring other people inspires you, and it's a whole inspirational circle jerk, which is just fantastic. Everyone loves that. I'll be trying to make videos as often as I can. I can't promise anything. As said, I do have a insane schedule right now, but I want to do it as often as I can. And I want to talk about things as often as I can. And in between these videos, you can check me out on the podcast, as I've said. We're Your Friends. It's some fun times. I am doing it with two of my best friends. It's really therapeutic every week to be able to talk to them about art and pop culture. You can also find me on all my social medias, which will be linked down below in the description. Until next time, I hope that this helped you at least a little bit to know that you're not alone, and I really want to try to build some form of a community on here. It's not just about you guys feeling like you're not alone. I'll admit, I don't want to be alone either. I think a lot of people don't. Let's do it together.